So, the forming conversation. This is one of those things in our business that some people love and some people don't like so much. Um, I have found the forming conversation a fantastic guideline when I'm out prospecting, and especially if I'm out chatting with people that I don't know. It is such a good way for me to start conversations and then kind of know where I'm going and have some kind of order to it without feeling that it is strange and put on. And the good thing with this is that you can use this anytime, anywhere, really. The formal conversation, it can be a minute long if you're standing at the bus stop with someone you don't know. You need to exchange your details quite quickly if that happens. Or it can be, done over several weeks if it's someone that you meet at the gym every day or at the, school gates or somewhere you go regularly. So it all depends on the situation. You can do it very quickly or you can do it more in depth and finding out more about people. Obviously, the key with network marketing is to build relationships, and you need to find out firstly if this person is someone you really want to work with. You are looking for a business partner after all, so you're not going to be able to work with everybody you find. So if you start chatting with someone and they don't really, fit with you, then you don't need to go ahead and exchange details with them. That would just be a bit weird, wouldn't it? You need to assess during this if this is someone you would like to work with, and secondly, if they would like what we got to offer with Forever Living. So the whole point is really to find out about them. While you go through the forming conversation, you'll find out if they have got these big wants and needs in life that we can help out with Forever. So it's really important to listen. You have got 2 ears and 1 mouth and use them accordingly. So if you want to find out if, in the situation that I am more often in is, I speak to parents and it's about private schools or music lessons or, just doing lots of extra activities for the children, or for other people there's other situation, like you might want to build a more secure pension fund, you might want to go on holidays a bit more. So it's all about finding out what that person wants. It's all about them at the end of the day. This is not about you, it's about them. So the forming conversation, it's the different parts of a conversation that you can do in any order, really. The message need to come last, that's the only thing. But I do find it really useful to be able to ask these questions so that the conversation flows smoothly and you can still have some kind of order in what you do. So if I'm at the swimming baths and I get chatting with one of the other parents who's watching, I often say something like, have you got any other children, or which one is yours, how many have you got, what age are they, so on. So you talk a bit about the family. Then it goes on to the occupation, if they work, what do they work with. This line, are you one of those lucky people who love their jobs? That's one of those wonderful things, because there's not very many people who answers yes to that. And then you can go on to asking about what they do for in your spare time, what they do for recreation. With the situation with mothers and children, most mothers say they don't have spare time, because most of us don't. It's very hard to find it. So when you do this, you find out that they do a part-time job that they don't really like, but they need to bring some extra money in for the family so that the children can have their swimming lessons, that the mother would love to be able to go to the gym a bit more, or, whatever their situation is. You then at the end of that say, I've got something that might interest you. I don't know if it's for you or not, but why don't we exchange details, and I can send you some information. So you've asked these questions, you find out what it is they want, you go back to the reason. When you communicate with them from now on, you go back to the reason of why they said they wanted the swimming lessons or the music lessons, or why the lady doesn't want to work this part-time job she does while the children are at school. And that's it, really. Always go back to what it is they want. It's not about them joining your team. It's about you offering a solution for them of how we can help them with the home business we do. And I love this. I don't know if this is for you or not, only you can decide that, but why don't you have a look at this? It's very non-threatening. You're not telling them to do anything. You're doing them a favor. And you're not saying it's what they need. Most people don't like it if you tell them this is what they need. So this then really brings you into asking for their phone number and the email address, which is quite simple. After you've asked that, you say, well, can I just have you, if you jot down your email address and your phone number, I'll send you some information later on, and then I'll get back to you in a couple of days. Would Monday or Tuesday evening be good for you? So set a time when you're going to call them back. They're much more likely to actually look at this information if they know you're going to call them back. Obviously, give them your business card in exchange. It looks very professional, and they can then contact you easily as well. So after this, you do call them at the time when you said you'd call them back, because that looks really professional as well. And if they haven't seen the video, you say, oh, that's such a shame. When do you think you managed to do this by then? So that you do hold them accountable to do this, because otherwise, if you phone them back 2 or 3 times and they haven't watched the videos, you just say, listen, you're obviously not interested. Call me if you need me, and then leave it like that. You can always contact them then in 2-3 months or so if you feel comfortable with that. I tend to do that. I put a little note in my diary to call these people back after a month, 6 weeks, 2 months, depending on the situation, to see if they've had a look. But, you know, you don't want to be stalking people, and you don't want to feel like people get fed up with you calling them all the time about this either. But anyway, if they've watched the videos and they like what they've seen, then it's time to set up the one-to-one. Try not to go into too much detail about what it is before the one-to-one. These things are set up for a reason, and if you start talking a bit too much about aloe vera or Rex or polysaccharides or whatever, you might just put people off. So keep things quite short, keep things professional. These calls should only take a couple of minutes, really. And if they got more questions, just say, listen, let's go through the presentation, and then you can see if I answer your questions, and if not, we'll deal with it after the presentation, okay? And again, you can say, well, we'll do this, and then we can see how we can sort out the swimming lessons or the music lessons for you. So then you've got the prospect's phone number, you've got the emails, you know what they want, you know what their hot button is. So make a note of this, have a profiling sheet for all your prospects. And then once you've done the one-to-one, you also put them onto your pipeline sheet, so that you know what's happening in your business. Because once you got 20, 30 prospects, you might not remember who said what, and it's really, really impressive if you phone someone up after a week or two and you still in conversation. You can refer back to the conversation you had. People get very impressed and they really like you. And of course, when you got their email as well, then add it to the newsletter or your autoresponder to send them more information on a regular basis. Again, ask the permission to do that. That's always a good practice to do so. So to end this, to collect names and contact details is really the key thing in this business. You're not going to succeed if you've got 5 people you need to talk to. It's going to be a continuous growth of this list of people, and you need to contact them on a regular basis. You'll find out what's convenient for you, what works for you. Personally, I put a little note in my diary when it's time to call people. Other people's got a card system. You can get back to your sponsor to find out what the best way for you would be. But I hope this has been a good explanation about what the forming conversation is like, how you can build a nice relationship. You show interest in them, find out if we can help them, find out if you want to work with them, and then set a date to do the one-to-one. Okay, have a good time, go out and find some new team members. Good luck with it all.